Sathya Sai speaks, Volume 13, Chapter 31, The Rama Era. Sarva Jiva Dharma Shantam, Sarvanama Dharma Shivam, Satchitananda Rupam Advaitam, Satyam Shivam Sundaram. The support of all beings, the supreme peace, known by all names, the supreme good, the one without a second, the being, awareness, bliss, truth, prosperity, beauty. Riches melt away only when you spend them, but the span of years you can live on earth is shortened every moment, whether you like it or not, whether you are conscious of it or not. Therefore, you must feel an urgency in the great tasks of life. Buddhi, intellect, is a special gift that has been offered to man. This has been given so that he might know himself. But unfortunately, it is now used by him to know others. When man has been given a mirror to look at his own face and set right its blemishes, he is foolishly holding it before other people's faces. The 3 debts to be discharged during one's life. There are certain fundamental duties that man has to accomplish through his intelligence. 3 of these are referred to in the scriptures as debt. Man has to discharge 3 debts as a consequence of his human birth and earthly career. The first one is Devama, the debt to be repaid to the gods. Every organ of the human body, every function in fact, is dominated and controlled and motivated by a divine power or God. Therefore, as a grateful repayment for the debt man owes to him, he has to use his organs, limbs, functions, and skills for the benefit of other men and for the welfare of the community. The second debt is called Rishima, the debt owed by man to the sages, seers, and ancient lawgivers. Long before the birth of this generation, a beneficent code of morals and a precious collection of guidelines for the realm of the spirit has been preserved and handed down as heritage through the efforts of selfless seers and sages. Each generation draws inspiration and knowledge from the previous ones, especially from the pathfinders, the pioneers, and the bridge builders in the regions of ethics, law, mysticism, sociology, and religion. These persons promote concord and progress and remove social conflict. Their footprints mark out the lines of individual and social development. So an enormous debt of gratitude has to be repaid to them. The sages and seers have handed down a precious quantity of knowledge about nature, about consciousness, and also about the means and methods of testing and expanding that knowledge. But today, man is neglecting this heritage and even discarding it as invalid and superfluous. This is suicidal. Man has to preserve this knowledge and foster it, revere it and use it. That is the way to repay the debt to the rishis, sages. The best repayment one can make to the rishis. The festivals in the religious calendar like this, Yugadi, the Lunar New Year, are instances in point. The rishis have laid down these days as holy days, and it is your duty to become aware of the meaning and significance of the festivals, and as to why they have been so designated. You can infer from what is generally done in every home when this festival starts the real purpose intended by the rishis. On this day, people take ceremonial baths, wear new clothes, tie new fresh green leaf festoons across their doorsills. They have their houses whitewashed and painted anew. They draw novel designs on the floors and make their homes charming to behold. All these are reminders of the prime purpose, namely, that of entertaining fresh ideas and giving up old faded ones, installing Ananda, divine bliss, in the mind and recouping courage and confidence and strengthening hope and faith. Yugadis come and go. Nala gives way to Pingala. Plenty of milestones are soon crossed, but the journey does not progress. You are still immersed on outdated beliefs and fancies. Observe the right codes laid down by the rishis with an awareness of the deeper plans they had in view. Follow the shastras, spiritual sciences, and perform the daily and seasonal rites, rituals, fasts, vows and vigils recommended by them, always laying emphasis on the inner meaning and significance as well as the spiritual aspect of that celebration. That is the best repayment you can make. Debt to be repaid to ancestors is universal. The third debt is the Pitru Rin, the debt repayable to the ancestors, especially to the parents. This debt is also universal, that is to say, men in all lands and all climes have to acknowledge it. For we are born of parents to whom gratitude is due for endowing us with a body. Adore the parents, make them happy, give them contentment and joy by paying loving attention and bestowing affectionate care. Another duty is to propagate the line through children of pure character, high virtue, and noble endeavor. Dasharatha, the emperor of Ayodhya, desirous of paying back his debt to his ancestors, had to perform the Putra Kameshti Yaga, the Vedic sacrifice that can bless the aspirant with sons. This event took place during the Vasanta Kala, spring season, which spans 2 months, Madhumadava and Mesha Rishambha. Mesha, the first month, is considered the most glorious month of the year. During this season, Dasharatha released the sacrificial horse, which travelled unhindered across the land and returned to Ayodhya. The Putra Kameshti Yaga also began in Vasanta, and the 4 sons, Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana and Satrunga, were born in Vasanta. This is the reason why the Yugadi is acclaimed as the inaugural day of the Vasanta Navaratri, the first 9 nights of the spring season, which culminates with the Rama Navami, the day on which Rama was born. Man is designed for some higher goal. Yuga means era. This day is not called Samvatsaradi, the New Year day, but Yugadi, the first day of a new era. The era is indicated as Dharma Yuga or the Rama Yuga, for Rama is identified as the very embodiment of Dharma, righteousness. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. The prime duty of everyone who participates in this celebration, therefore, is to adhere to Dharma, to support Dharma, and to foster Dharma. It is mostly a question of the final goal that man sets before himself in life. The goal has to be the realization of the unity of the Self with the Paramatma, Supreme Self. Why else should the Self take this human form? If mere living or even happy living was the goal, the Self could have been encased in the form of birds or beasts. The very fact that man is equipped with memory, mind, intelligence, discrimination, the ability to anticipate the future, desire to detach himself from the senses, etc., is an indication that he is designed for some higher goal. In spite of this, if man craves for a lesser consummation, he is a papi, sinner. But he who persists in spite of temptations and obstacles on the path that leads to self-fulfillment and self-realization, he is a gopi, for the gopis, cowherds of Vrindavan, were the most inspiring examples of such souls. The most effective discipline that man can adopt to attain this lofty goal is the control and conquest of the five senses. That is, to avoid the errors and evils that the eye, the ear, the tongue, the mind, and the hand are prone to commit. These are called panchadoshas, 5 vices. The eye ever seeks the vile and the vulgar, notwithstanding the danger to his own life and body. The motorist will stare at obscene posters advertising a movie film. The eye must be held in check so that it may not ruin the mind as well as the body of man. The ear craves for scandal and salacious stuff. It does not persuade you to attend discourses that can really help in your spiritual development. Even if you chance to attend any, the ear dissuades you by giving you a headache. But when someone pours abuse on another, the 2 ears attain maximum concentration. Start the day with love and end the day with love. The tongue is doubly dangerous unless held in check, for it speaks scandal and creates craving for taste. It is well nigh impossible to lead the tongue towards the path of japa and dhyana, spiritual recitations and meditation, however sweet be the name of the Lord. Surdas pleads with the tongue to call out the names Govinda, Damodara, Madhava. When the eye, ear, and tongue are under control and capable of being used for self-improvement, the mind and the hand can also easily be held in check. Thus, when man realizes himself, there is no need to inquire where God dwells. He dwells in the pure heart of man, shining in his innate splendor of wisdom, power, and love. Give joy to all. Prema, selfless love, is the means to achieve this ideal. When love can bring even God nearer to you, how can it fall where man is involved? Krishna could not be bound by any other means. That is the reason why Sai has declared, start the day with love, spend the day with love, fill the day with love, end the day with love. That is the way to God. Yugadi, Vrindavan, March 20th, 1977. Through a desire to judge or estimate or evaluate, you cannot discover the mystery of God. Through devotion and faith, you have to win His grace, which will reveal Him to your understanding and experience. Steady faith alone can earn victory. You cannot be changing your allegiance as and when you please. Hold fast until the realization is awarded. When a man is suffering from the effects of a cobra bite, they give him chilies to chew on. The idea is they will not taste the spicy if the poison is still in his system. So too, when the poison of worldly sensualism is there, puja, japam, dhanam will all taste drab and dismal. Sri Sathya Sai Baba.